Hey, thanks so much for tuning into the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. Hopefully, you have been encouraged and challenged, inspired all week long through chapters 42 and 43 of the book of Genesis, talking about some of the family dysfunction that's going on in the family life of Joseph. And so now we see that Joseph and his brothers are all in a palace preparing a feast. Joseph prepared a feast for his brothers. Again, he has not revealed himself to his brothers about who he is, his identity. So let's pick up. Let's see if he does reveal himself at the end of 43. Verse 29, it says, "Then Joseph looked at his brother Benjamin, the son of his own mother. 'Is this your youngest brother, the one that you told me about?' Joseph asked. 'May God be gracious to you, my son.' Then Joseph hurried from the room because he was overcome with emotion for his brother. He went into his private room. He broke down and wept. After washing his face, he came back, keeping himself under control. Then he ordered to bring out the food." And so we see here the amount of emotion is overwhelming for Joseph. Not only does he discover that he has a young brother, now he sees him for the very first time. And we discovered yesterday that he realized that his dad, Jacob, is still living. Now, he is just obviously has an abundance of responsibilities, being the governor of the land and being responsible for the distribution. There we go, distribution of the food, and making sure that they have enough food in Egypt and all the surrounding areas have enough food because the famine is still going on. But now he is in the very room with all of his brothers, and now his full brother from his very own mother as well, Benjamin, sees him. Now let's see how he responds now as after he composed himself. In verse 32, "The waiter serves Joseph at his own table, and his brothers were served at a separate table. The Egyptians who ate with Joseph sat at their table because the Egyptians despised Hebrews and refused to eat with them." So it was just customary that they did that, and they had separate tables. Joseph told each of his brothers where to sit, and to their amazement, he seated them according to age from oldest to youngest. And Joseph filled their plates with food from his own table, giving Benjamin, this is crazy, listen to this, and giving Benjamin 5 times as much as he gave the others. So they feasted and drank freely with him. Now, the brothers were scared. They were afraid of what was going to happen. They weren't sure, but now they see now that they were having favor. And Joseph, this governor, again, so we see here, he didn't yet reveal himself to his brothers. But it goes back to being faithful to God, being true to our word. Jacob told his brothers exactly what to do. And guess what? They actually listened to their father. And because of that, the favor was on them. And the household manager was like, "Hey, I believe you. The God of your father provided for you." You see, God's provision is so abundant and so much more than we can rely on our own effort and what we can rely on in this world. This too shall pass away. These things will fade away, but his provisions, his promises are true day after day after day after day. And so I know that can be some dysfunction, and especially even around a meal. Maybe some family reunions or even mealtime can seem a little dysfunctional. You know, it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't. And I think it needs to start with us. It needs to start with where you're at. What are things that you can do to model integrity for the rest of your family? What are things that you can do to model openness and honesty and care and compassion and consideration? I recognize and know that we can't make decisions for other family members and how they respond and what they do. But what we can be responsible for is us. You can be responsible with how you act and what your attitude is like and how you present yourself. And so let's choose to present ourselves in such a way that's honoring of God and loving others. Let's choose to do that today. And I want to thank you so much. And hopefully, again, you were encouraged and challenged through these chapters 42 and 43. I want to encourage you to join us tomorrow morning at Shrewsbury Assembly as we continue our series, Family Dysfunction. And then we'll be back again on Monday for another daily dose for spiritual growth.